Today we're diving into a question that's on every marketer's mind. How long does it take to get content marketing results? This is one of, if not the most common question we get. Although the same is true if you're working in-house at a company, external teams like we at ScaleMath are to the companies we operate and advise, but don't own, are held to quite a high standard when it comes to measuring both the output and outcomes of our work. Everyone wants to know how long they need to be patient before they should expect to see something working for them. So let's break it down and set some realistic expectations. First of all, it is true that there is no one-size-fits-all answer to this question, but we're obviously not going to leave you with that nugget of wisdom and send you on your way. In this video, I'll paint as clear of a picture as possible of what to expect and how to measure success. So let's get started. The first indicator of content marketing success we look for is quite simple: keyword rankings. After all, if your content isn't showing up in search results, it's going to be tough to have any follow-on success. Think traffic and conversions. It's worth noting that this assumes you're producing content with the intention of ranking in search to build a scalable customer acquisition channel. Usually this also means you're focusing on ranking for keywords, working your way up from the bottom of the funnel. So how long does it take to see ranking improvements in search? In our experience, you can usually start seeing first page rankings within 1 to 5 months. But remember, this is just an average. Take any averages you see with a grain of salt. Your business is unique and most likely shouldn't be compared to just about any other business. Everything is relative to your business and your product. For a company like us, 10 leads per month is a great number. With a minimum contract value of $6,000 to $7,000 per month, we need significantly less traffic volume, which is fortunate as the number of high-intent topics we can go after also happens to be lower, considering our target customer profile. Anyway, forgive the side note. Let's get back to the topic of keyword rankings. The next thing you should observe here is that the number of first-page rankings increases steadily over time. And in case you're wondering what factors influence how quickly you can rank, there are really 3 main things that fall somewhat within your control. Number 1, domain authority. This is a measure of your website's overall strength in search. Number 2, topical authority. How much expertise your site demonstrates in a particular subject area. And number 3, keyword difficulty. How competitive the keywords you're targeting are. As an example of how these factors play out in the real world, we'll use an example of a company we worked with. When our team was first brought in, the site was brand new, with a domain rating about as low as you can get, close to 0 out of 100. This is very low, and the scale is logarithmic. Despite this low domain rating, within 3 to 4 months, we were able to get multiple pieces of content ranking on the first page of Google. How? Dumbing things down quite a bit to prevent this from being a 4-hour deep dive. Put simply, we stopped obsessing over domain rating, and instead, we targeted high-intent, lower competition keywords that were directly relevant to their product. Of course, the devil is in the details, and in this case, also the execution. We could spend all day talking about strategy, but it's all pretty meaningless if you can't execute. So what's the takeaway here? Don't let a low domain rating discourage you. And realistically, you also really shouldn't obsess over keyword difficulty because we see this lead brands to focus on producing less relevant content first. With the right strategy and more importantly, the ability to execute, you can see ranking progress a lot faster than you might think. Once you start seeing ranking improvements, traffic growth usually follows. But here's the thing, traffic growth often follows an exponential curve, not a linear one. Take a look at these graphs from 2 of our clients. In the first few months, traffic growth can feel painfully slow. You might see increases of just a few hundred visitors per month, but don't let this discourage you. This is normal. The real magic typically happens around the 6 to 9 month mark. That's when, on some sites, you can start to see that hockey stick growth curve. Why? Because by this point, you've likely accumulated a number of high-ranking pieces of content, and the compounding effect starts to kick in. One crucial point to remember is that position matters a lot. Moving from position 8 to position 2 on the first page can result in exponential traffic growth. Of course, it goes without saying that the top 3 positions in particular are where you'll see the most significant traffic. Now let's talk about the ultimate goal of content marketing, generating leads or sales. The good news is you don't need to wait for a massive amount of traffic to start seeing conversions. In a study we conducted based on a sample of sites we work with and others who were awesome enough to want to participate by sharing access to their data, we found some keywords can achieve conversion rates as high as 10 to 15%. That means even with relatively low traffic, it is possible to start generating valuable leads for your business. However, your ability to drive similar results are affected by a number of factors, including content relevance to your buyer. The more closely your content matches what the searcher is looking for, the higher your conversion rate is likely to be. Product or service complexity. Generally, the more complex or expensive your offering, the longer the sales cycle, and the lower the immediate conversion rate. And sales cycle length. B2B products with long sales cycles almost always see lower conversion rates than a simple B2B alternative or B2C e-commerce products. The key takeaway here is to focus on high intent keywords. These might have lower search volume, but they can drive significant business results even with less traffic. This is a big part of why traffic is a great leading metric. But once you're clearly able to rank the content you're putting out, it becomes more worthwhile to pick your battles wisely. Now that we have the meat of the video out of the way, or lettuce for vegans out there, sorry, I should really start thinking of more universal expressions, let's spend some time discussing the factors that influence how quickly you see results. Domain authority versus topical authority. While domain authority is important, do not underestimate the power of topical authority. Becoming a recognized expert in your niche can help you rank faster for relevant keywords. Keyword difficulty and competition. Naturally, highly competitive keywords will take longer to rank for, but don't shy away from high difficulty keywords if they're important for your business. Just be prepared for a longer timeline. This is often where we see the greatest misalignment of expectations among SaaS startups. Competitors to established players like Monday.com, Asana, Intercom, and Atlassian come in and think that they can outperform companies that have very strong staying power in search in just a few months. This is a challenge even in a year, because remember, these companies are probably spending 10 to 20 times your entire marketing budget just on content while you're trying to compete. So it's not as if they're at a complete standstill, giving you time to catch up. As advisors to these companies, it's our job to manage these expectations. That said, it is worth noting that very few startups are able to compete on a product and business direction level with these bigger companies anyway, which has a strong impact on your ability as an in-house marketer to have an impact, as it does on our ability, which is why we're quite picky with who we work with, and you should be too. To simplify what I mean here, you can't really get content to convert, even if the content is better than what Asana is putting out, if you have an inferior product, as your B2B buyers aren't dumb. Next, you have content strategy. Bottom of the funnel content targeting buyers who are ready to purchase will often drive faster results than top of the funnel awareness content, obviously. But you do need both. People typically don't share bottom of the funnel stuff, while top of the funnel stuff can help you drive wider awareness for your brand, build trust in the community, and participate in other community initiatives that are incredibly important to being a key player in a market. Conversion metrics. How you define a conversion, whether it's a free trial sign-up, a demo request, or a purchase, will obviously also affect your perceived results timeline. And remember, these factors are also connected in complex ways, so it's important to consider all of them when setting expectations for yourself, your company's leadership team, or the team you're overseeing. So, to wrap up, here's what you can typically expect. First page rankings in 1 to 5 months, significant traffic growth in 6 to 9 months, and conversions can start immediately, but scale with traffic. And obviously, the main prerequisite here is content being published and being distributed. To maximize your chances of success, build topical authority by creating in-depth, valuable content your brand stands a chance of being known and remembered for. Monitor and optimize your conversion rates, and be patient and consistent. Content marketing is a long-term game. Rome wasn't built overnight, and neither are great brands like Slack, Stripe, and HubSpot. Most importantly, don't stress over conversion metrics not being what you want them to be when you aren't even ranking yet. Or better yet, push back on people that try to make you stress about this. Instead, focus on one goal, and once you can see things are on the right track, then start looking at maximizing conversions, for example. What I mean here is you can't expect conversions without rankings and traffic in the first place. So diagnose the hell out of the first one before you start getting caught up in why you aren't getting conversions. Remember, every business is unique. Your results may come faster or slower depending on your specific situation. The key is to stay consistent, keep creating valuable content, and continuously optimize based on what you observe. I'd love to hear about your experience with content marketing timelines. Feel free to shoot me an email at alex@scalemath.com. Yep, that's my actual email, and I'd look forward to connecting with you. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.